Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now down 11. You get the Nasdaq up 16. S&Ps are up 1.5. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Darrell Martin from Apex Investing Institute. We haven't talked with Darrell for a while.
Gotta love it.
Well, we actually have talked to him, but I'm not on the air. Darrell Martin, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. So we got lots of information coming out this week. We get the Fed tomorrow at 2 o'clock. What are you looking at out here to trade coming into this meeting?
Coming into the meeting, I'll be looking at obviously FX pairs.
Okay.
So euro dollar will be big one, pound dollar.
Yes.
Obviously it's one of the simplest things to be able to take advantage of dollar interest. Of course, interest rates you can trade on the future side. So ZN, the massive liquidity that's actually been higher than the S&P on the future side, and then of course on the forex side, trade those very liquid pairs, hop in, hop out. And I like to hop in like right after the announcement comes out.
Okay.
Going into the announcement, a lot of times it's just so much implied volatility in the options.
Oh, this is good to know, particularly if we take a look at the Nadex platform, because the premiums will be built in before the fact. Yeah,
oh, definitely. And then the news event, yeah.
Which is so cool, right? Okay, yeah.
Exactly. So the IV will be like just so high.
Yes.
And the activity is so crazy. Like right there, right when it opens up, or
yeah.
The announcement drops at 2 o'clock. The things just go nuts, but you still get a lot of really good movement after it.
Yes.
So especially for about 10 to 15 minutes after, you can have some nice moves you can take advantage of. And the IV dropped down a little bit, so you can actually get better pricing. Because that IV it's like air in the balloon, just makes it a lot more expensive.
Sure.
And if you're trading on Nadex and you're trading a binary, and there's a whole lot of expected movement, it'll push all the prices on the strike ladder towards the center.
Okay.
So it'll push them more towards 50.
Okay.
So a contract that maybe normally $10 will be like $40, and you'll see it on the strike ladder. You'll see prices are like 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 versus having an actual big difference in price will be very small. And sometimes you'll even see it like 48, 46.
And folks, which is cool here, as Darrell's speaking, if you haven't test driven the Nadex platform, this is going to be a great time to do it, because you can watch, number one, you can watch that the premiums are higher before the fact. You can watch the acceleration or depreciation on these contracts afterwards. So
definitely,
you can get to really see how these things can move.
Definitely. And you have some live quotes in there as well. We always talk about.
Oh, yeah.
You can follow the market action at 2 o'clock as they're releasing statement. And then, of course, right in line with retail sales coming out Thursday, seeing what the market's doing, for sure.
Man, and then you get the Central Bank of
ECB, right?
ECB,
yep,
and then Japan also.
Okay,
that's about as so. Yeah,
banks across the globe.
Fantastic day to trade. We get every one of those just coming in one out right after the other. So it's a fantastic way to trade it. And it's a crazy thing to trade, but it's awesome if you can trade with defined risk options that you can actually grab some nice movement on.
Yes.
And that's why I trade them on Nadex.
And as we've seen when we're doing these volatility trades for the oil and the gas, the bottom line is that when you get volatility, man, they move both ways.
Definitely.
And that's what is pretty so cool about the aspect of when this statement comes out. Because I just said to Tommy, I think the statement's going to really move a lot of people.
And there's so much news, we're jumping past it. You have oil tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
At
10:30
going on.
Right.
So lots on there.
Yeah, it's a stacked trading day. So
stacked trading day.
And a lot of people, I've actually seen a lot of traders, like in rooms and stuff, where they'll be like, oh, the volatility is too high, and they'll want to back away. That's really where, that's sort of the days you actually should be, almost training for as you're trading, is to trade those high volatility days. That's where the money's made. Of course, it also can be where it's lost. But if you go in there and you use something defined risk.
Yes.
And, maybe you have an opinion. Maybe you think they're going to raise it, they're going to lower it, they're going to leave it the same or whatever. Or, maybe you just want to go in and go on both sides of the trade, and you want to do a long and a short at the same time. Those are all options, which is the beauty of trading Nadex options.
And in that same basis, I'm glad you brought up the fact that you wait till afterwards, because you can still do a volatility trade, but wait to afterwards.
Definitely, and
Yeah.
especially if that much premium is priced into it too.
Right.
That's the key. That you know,
Right.
and that's where when we set up those oil trades, sometimes we'll say, you know what, this is an expensive day.
Yes.
You know, there's maybe too much intrinsic value on one side, along with a heavy load of premium. We say, man, you need a big move here just to break even, right?
Right.
But yeah, sometimes they'll be more affordable, right? But like we're talking about, there's a lot going on. There's probably going to be a lot of volatility
Yeah.
premium priced into
Yeah.
the defined risk options for sure.
Exactly. And so, I mean, and sometimes that premium's so high that, you know, there's even other strategies that are more advanced for those who, you know, are more familiar with them.
Sure.
And you can go in there and you can actually be on the other side and collect that premium.
Right.
Yes.
So, you know, it's like some people go, oh, these are too expensive. I don't want to trade this, you know, because there's just way too much premium in there. And that, you know, that can be the right move. But if there's actually way too much from your experience, then you just go in and you hop on the other side.
Yeah.
And you be the premium collector
Yeah.
versus the premium payer. So, you know, always see those things. If you're like, that's something that's way too expensive for me to trade because it's just not expensive as in too big for my account, but just as expensive as in too much premium.
Sure.
You know, don't ever forget you can be the other guy. You can be
And
the
what's so
insurance
cool
seller.
about that inside the Nadex platform is that it's still defined risk.
Right.
You still put, you know, okay,
Right.
you collect it, yeah, and you can lose it, but the bottom line is that it's defined. You're not going to lose more than you just put up.
Sure.
Which is a huge
Right, it's
deal.
not like doing a naked call or a naked put.
Exactly. Exactly.
Defined.
Ahead of a
Yeah,
news event
exactly.
like that, a lot
Yeah.
of things too.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And you can see, you know, this dollar has been basically struggling. You know, we've been at the same place, I don't know, 2.5, 3 weeks right now. As, you know, the euro basically, you know, is going sideways, you know, so these things are going these things are going to be moving, man.
Yeah, everything could be woke up tomorrow. So, yeah. So you got with the euro coming out, the yen coming out, oil coming out, and then the Fed coming out for the dollar. So, I mean, it's a perfect time to trade. And you can hop in there. You can trade them live. You can trade them demo as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you go check that out.
And, you know, what we're going to have is that this bond move, like the last 2 days, the 10-year note, 30-year bond, you know, have been back two or three ticks, but there's no conviction behind the move. And if there's a shocker that comes out, either the shocker would be, I guess the shocker would be, is it 4 or 3? It's almost like 4 seems so many, but we're only halfway through the year.
Yeah.
You
if
know?
they say 3, that means like 1 left, right?
Yeah.
And that
That-
seems like that would be light.
It would be.
Yeah.
And
But
almost
then 2 seems like it would be a little tough.
Yeah, it seems inconceivable. Exactly.
No.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
The market will tell us when they
Yeah,
find
the
out
market
as to
will tell
what
us.
the expectation really was in terms of what they decide.
I'll tell you, pretty amazing.
Well, there's so many things going into that decision, you know, with the trade wars happening and everything else.
There
and
really
the
is,
economy
yeah.
booming and all the reports coming out positive.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to have a harder time justifying not raising the rate with all the positive reports coming out.
I agree. You just got inflation data. I mean, it's kind of, you know, pushing forward. It's definitely not coming up light, you know, as in
No.
0.2%. I think it was annualized like 2.2, maybe 2.4. So what are they waiting for if you're not going to raise?
And we know the internet keeps bringing prices down.
Yeah.
So that's up.
You can even trade that on Nadex. They have the addendum as well. So
I love it. Well, listen, man, we appreciate it. That's our man, Mr. Darrell Martin from Apex Investing Institute. Darrell, you have a great one and a safe one.
you too.
Good
Have a
to talk
good
to you, man. Take care.
Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back.